Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside the Cerow Rec Park for the second night in a row as the Thousand Island Raiders host the Ridgetown Royals. Underway here in the first period. The Royals with a big win last night. The Raiders looking to avenge that defeat. Ridgetown will control. Xander Wright in behind. He tried to throw that one out in front for Malcolm Campbell. Campbell now pinched up against the boards by Zach O'Mara. And him and Campbell into it a little bit behind the play. Lemieux out of the net to play the puck, but he turned it over. Now Endy throws one on, and that's just high on the near side. Got up into the netting and out of play. So faceoff will come out into the neutral zone. No, they're going to bring it into the offensive end. Maybe not. They're going to point down to the offensive end, but keep it in the neutral zone. So just like to confuse us, I guess. Endy shot it straight up into the netting behind, so it makes sense that it would be a neutral zone faceoff, and it's controlled by the Royals as they skate into the offensive zone with Malcolm Campbell. Campbell with a drop pass. Now picking it up at the blue line is Ian Campbell, who skates in up along the near boards. Clark wants it at the point. They go down low instead. In behind the net, centering pass out in front. Fountain with a save, and then another as it was batted out of the air by Dave Beanackers. Pinch and held in at the blue line by Phil Clark. St. Anne Spinner to Colton Oaks Cook here on the near side. Pass through center ice is broken up, turned over. And the Raiders battling for it here along the near boards. Worked free, though, by Ridgetown. Another centering pass. That one's broken up, but it works out well for Brendan Ritchie. Ritchie now still with the puck. Lets one go. Misses on the near side. Hard off the boards in behind. And Raiders will sweep up the loose puck and dump it into the offensive end. Right in on Lemieux, who throws the blocker on it. Tumbling into the boards in behind was Gunther. Pass came out in front. Wiley let a shot go. And Nolan Vandenborn on the near side, skating up the left wing for the Royals, cutting back across to the right side. The lefty lets one go, just missed on the near side. A couple of good looks here early for Ridgetown that they just haven't put on net. Here's Wiley up the right wing, all the way around in behind. Wiley looking for some help. Ezekiel Endy's going to end up with it in the slot area. He sends a pass down low for Nick Snyder. Snyder, Wiley, and a puck battle here along the near boards, but it's controlled, sent out of the zone by Ridgetown. That one sent all the way across the ice by Nolan Vandenborn and then tipped forward off the stick of Brendan Ritchie, but he loses out, and the puck rung around the back boards. Thousand Islands looking to clear. In behind, Ritchie throws one out in front. In the slot, unable to get a shot away, was Brody Fraley. This one sent deep into the corner. Harville chips at it there. Fraley now in behind. Centering pass deflected off a couple of sticks and never sat up really very well for Xander Wright. Royals get back on side, and in on the forecheck is Fraley. Fraley unable to work the puck free, but it is turned over at the blue line and then given right back. Derek Shaw came up with it and then had it taken off of his stick. Campbell takes his man to the boards. Trudeau ends up with a puck out in front. Lemieux makes the stop and throws the glove on to cover up with 16:39 to go in the first period. A little bit of a fortuitous bounce for Jordan Trudeau as that puck came right out in front for him. And the first shot he kind of whiffed on, and that allowed Lemieux to make the stop. Face off one to the side by the Royals, controlled by Xander Wright. Now Wright throws it along the near boards. Fraley up the left wing. Now Steve Beanackers dumps it in, chases it himself. O'Mara takes him to the boards, then falls to the ice, O'Mara. Blaine McClellan in behind his own net, trying to work out from there. And Will escapes the zone, and McClellan now down the right wing with numbers. Throws one on, Lemieux makes the save. Big rebound out in front, and it's cleared the length of the ice. It will miss Fountain, and it'll be an icing call. 16:07 to go in the first period. Waiting to see which side they'll take this face-off to. It'll be to the right-hand side, Owen Lemieux. Robert Rice will skate in for the Raiders. Puck went straight down and straight back off the draw, won by Steve Beanackers. Rice takes his man to the boards. Puck turned over, though. Shot. And another as the rebound came out for Rice, and Lemieux able to make a couple of saves. First shot came in from Anthony Bentley at the point. Lemieux made the stop. A little bit of a big rebound. There's been a couple of those here early for the Ridgetown netminder. Last night we saw Nolan Hacker, who had a great game. At the other end, it's Robert Fountain playing for the starting for the second night in a row. He did come out late last night. Shot at the blue line, stung Jeremy Vanderborn. That one sent along the far boards. Nick Snyder has it on the left wing. Back across to this near side for Wiley, who throws one just wide. Off the boards in behind, and then cleared along this near side by the Royals as they skate through center ice, but it's turned over and controlled by Thousand Islands. Again, down this right wing is Snyder. Throws one on, patted away off the right leg of Lemieux. Puck sent in deep, though, and Rice bodies his man into the boards. Wiley pinching in with the puck. Out back to the blue line, sent on from there and sticked away by Lemieux. The shot from Cameron Whipple. Malcolm Campbell picks the blue line and then dumps the puck in deep so Ridgetown can go for a change. Here's Trudeau, one-time pass across for Harville. Harville with the backhand back to Trudeau and got caught in his skates, and he ended up offside. Had to retreat into the neutral zone and lost the puck when he did so. Now trying to work the puck free on the far side is Zeke Endy. Endy lost the puck. It comes back across to the near side now out through the neutral zone. That one missed a couple of guys and will be an icing call as nobody was able to get a touch on it in the neutral zone. 14:31 to go in the first period. Still no score between the Thousand Island Raiders and the Ridgetown Royals. St. Anne Spinner slapped the stick out of the hands of Gunther. That one missed well high from Whipple and escapes the zone, goes all the way down into the Raiders' end of the ice. Long stretch pass, home run pass for McClellan, who got a stick on it but couldn't control. And Phil Clark the other way. Clark crossed to the near wing, picked up by Ritchie. Centering pass was trying to find Clark back in front, but had his stick lifted. And now here come the Raiders the opposite direction in by himself. Centering one on, and Lemieux did well to get a stick on it and prevent any sort of redirect at the back post. Now up the right wing with speed, Ian Campbell. Campbell, drop pass at the blue line, back across, slapper from there, blocked by St. Anne Spinner, held in at the blue line. Spencer Clark now down the right wing, into the corner, back to the blue line, skipped over the stick of Gunther, and he had to send it back across to this near side where it's slapped down into the offensive end by Ian Campbell. Dylan St. Anne Spinner now in behind his own net. Evades the referee in behind. Pass out through center and now up the right wing with some speed. Myers taken to the boards. Big hit laid by Ian Campbell in behind. Anzalone tried to keep the puck in the zone, but it'll skip out into the neutral zone. Back across, Nolan Vanderborn now down the left wing. His pass into the slot for Ben Cunningham, who lost the puck as it was taken away by Trayer. Puck held in at the blue line. One-timer right in the slot, up and over the net. Fountain not tested there. This one, he'll blocker aside. Vanderborn has the puck, though, down the left wing in the corner. Back out. Puck is loose in front. Roberts collects it. And he'll battle with Vanderborn in behind. Roberts again had the puck on the stick but couldn't escape the zone. Trayer lays the body. Long shift now for some of these Raiders. They've been out there for quite a bit here with about 12-15 to go as they finally do escape the zone. And it's Trayer throws one on here on the near side. Rice will keep it in right into the slot for Wiley. Back to Rice, who throws one on, and that's blockered away by Lemieux. Wright dumps it out into the neutral zone. And now numbers. Nolan Vanderborn has Beanackers, throws one on, and Fountain makes the save, gloves it down. and throws it away. 11:54 to go in the first period. Still no score. Both teams starting to create some looks. Beanackers into the faceoff dot, wins it back to the blue line, controlled there, sent back across here to the near side, thrown on, and Fountain again makes the save as he throws the leather out to deny Sean Noah. Long shot from the point. Faceoff controlled by the Raiders. They skate up the right wing. It's Justin Wiley. Wiley stops, put the brakes on, and he's going to send one in behind. Tried to send it back out in front. Rice was there, Wiley too, but Beanackers will control and skate the other way. Steve Beanackers up the left wing. Drop pass for Derek Shaw. Shaw was crunched here by Wiley. And now Wiley's going to get into it in behind. Going to pay the price for the big hit he laid on Derek Shaw, who has stayed down behind the play. And Nolan Vanderborn and Colton Oaks-Cook going to assist the trainer out there to help Shaw, as still a couple of guys tangled up in behind Wiley. And looks like Steve Beanackers. Obviously, Ridgetown took exception to the hit laid by Wiley, and it looks like he's going to come sit down. Shaw still really struggling down there right at the top of the left circle. Now back up onto his skates, but he's going to head back to the room here. Not quite halfway through the first period. Captains will come over and talk to the referee about it, as Shaw assisted back off, like we said, back to the room. So both guys, captains here, getting an explanation from the referees as to what the fallout is going to be of the scrum. Ridgetown, Steve Beanackers especially, is arguing that elbow might have been up from Wiley on the hit. So just heard Nolan Vanderborn, a captain for Ridgetown, as he skated back to the bench, which is right below where we get to watch the game from. 2 and a 10 is what he told his bench. So Wiley will end up with 2, and then also a 10-minute misconduct. He'll, I guess, be able to come back out onto the ice in theory with just over a minute left in the period. So Royals to the power play here. They were effective with the extra skater last night. Raiders gave them plenty of chances to skate 5-on-4. And they're going to do so here. Referee pretty audible as he skated over here, 2 and 10 on Wiley, which is what just confirms what Nolan Vanderborn had relayed to the Ridgetown bench. So power play. It was a roughing call. And Ridgetown with the extra skater. Vanderborn here on the near side. Comes across to the blue line. Nifty stick work there to evade one by Brendan Ritchie. Throws it into the corner. Beanackers trying to go back to Ritchie at the point. Does. He rings it around the boards. Picked up here on the near side by Ben Cunningham. Cunningham goes down low for Fraley. Brody Fraley behind the net. Back out to the right circle. Beanackers. Pass was behind Vanderborn, but he's able to pick it up. Throw it down into the corner where it's picked up in behind by Brody Fraley. Fraley. Back to Vanderborn. Throws one right along the ice. But Fountain able to throw the glove on it and get the stop with 1:14 to go in the Ridgetown power play. Beanackers into the faceoff dot. It's one back, though, and this one cleared all the way down the ice. Lemieux out of the net, settles it down, and looks to play it up ahead. It's turned over. Trudeau got a hand on it, and that could have been really dangerous. Trudeau, though, well out of the play. So 5-on-3 here for a bit until Trudeau can get back in. Centering pass was tipped across, and Trudeau's going to end up with a puck again. Tried to send one down the length of the ice for Ezekiel Endy, but Vanderborn well across to break that up and prevent any sort of shorthanded opportunity for Thousand Islands. Beanackers throws one off the blocker, comes back out in front. That one missed from Nolan Vanderborn. Really good look for him right in the short slot. Couldn't send it on net, missed. He's trying to go blocker side on Robert Fountain. Has it again in behind along the far wall, picked up by Brendan Ritchie. Ritchie skates all the way around, has it still behind the net. Ritchie turns, throws one on. Fountain got a glove on it. It's loose on the far side, but St. Anne Spinner throws it off the glass, held in by Nolan Vanderborn. Terrific work. Hand-eye from Vanderborn, who skates in now, throws one that's deflected off of Rice, but kept into the offensive zone for Ridgetown. Vanderborn again throws one. That one's deflected, and Fountain makes the save. The net comes off as he slid across to throw the glove on it, and that'll be a stoppage in play with 3 seconds to go in the Wiley roughing call. Not sure who's down there serving it for him because he's in there for 10 as well. Now we got a whistle before the faceoff. Thousand Islands not allowed to change as the net came off. Faceoff one back, controlled at the point. Weak wrister from there. Dave Beanackers. Vanderborn in behind. Jeremy Vanderborn. Centering pass broken up. Snyder will clear it out of the zone. Beanackers along the near boards. Tipped ahead. Just passed out of the reach of Malcolm Campbell. Still here along the near boards. And now Ian Campbell will settle down in front of his own net. Out to the far side for Ben Cunningham. Backhand deeper into the defensive zone for Campbell. Ian Campbell out from behind his own net. Long stretch pass through center. Broken up by Cameron Whipple. Whipple's pass tried to do the same. Jeremy Vanderborn tied up right at center ice with Rice. Now Rice picks it up at the red line. Wanted to backhand it into the zone. Sends it in instead. With the forehand, Malcolm Campbell caught an errant stick up high. Just a follow through with that dump into the zone. Dave Beanackers evades Colton Oaks-Cook. Now gets around McClellan as he skates down the right wing. McClellan did just enough to force him into the corner and work the puck free. Now McClellan picks it up as he skates out of his own end, up along the near boards, and down the right wing was Gavin Cook-Avery. This one dumped in deep into the far corner. Skating in to pick it up, Jay Ritchie. Ritchie. And covered up again by Fountain. Another stop. Another fast-moving first period. 7:50 to go here in the first. Still no score. Face off one to the side, a one-timer turned away off the stick of Robert Fountain. Harville feathers one forward, trying to find McClellan. He will give chase into the corner. Harville does battle in behind with Nevin Gunther. Skating through center, Spencer Clark had his stick lifted and the puck taken away from him. McClellan tips that one forward. Clark, now Gavin Cook-Avery up the left wing. Tightrope through a couple of guys. Cook-Avery still with a puck on his stick. Goes down. Penalty is coming. Delayed penalty for a trip. And Thousand Islands will go to the power play here, as that was completely and totally earned by Gavin Cook-Avery. Did an excellent job. Skate through a couple of guys in the neutral zone, got around another in the offensive zone, and then was taken down. Tripping the call. And still looking for our first goal here in the first period. The Raiders with a chance here now with an extra skater. Rice in the face-off dot. One back to the blue line. Thrown on, missed by Endy. Lemieux makes the save on the rebound from Trudeau. And controlled on the far side. Sent all the way down the length of the ice from Xander Wright. Pretty good look there on the power play. Right in the short slot as the rebound came out in front for Trudeau, who has it now on the left wing. Jordan Trudeau tried to center, hit a couple of legs, and didn't make its way through. Steve Beenacker's now up the left wing on the penalty kill, throws one long on to Fountain, who sticks it into the corner. Endy now harassed in behind, taken away, and just skips under the stick at the blue line. Now a chance here for Thousand Islands on the power play, backhanded in by Snyder, and Lemieux lost the puck. It snuck in behind him, and I don't know if it went in or not. Net came off. Snyder's celebrating like it's a goal, and I think he's got a case here. See if we can't. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be able to tell from up here, but it certainly looked like the puck snuck past Lemieux. And we'll have to get a signal. Face-off is definitely coming into center ice. Raiders will take the lead. The power play goal is the unusual power play breakaway, really, for Nick Snyder, but he's able to sneak it just through Owen Lemieux and give Thousand Islands a 1-0 lead here in the first period. Here's St. Anne Spinner. Sent in deep off the glass, controlled in behind by Lemieux. Fraley now out to the near side. Long stretch pass by Gunther, and St. Anne Spinner will beat it down there to ensure the icing call with 5:53 to go in the first period. Face-off down to the right-hand side of Owen Lemieux in the Ridgetown net. One back, but cleared out of the zone. And a foot race now. Bentley actually loses out to his own teammate, O'Mara, who went back to collect the puck. Ezekiel Endy got around Fraley. That one might have hit the referee up along the far boards. Sent in deep by Beenackers. In behind Ryan Wilson. And here's Trudeau looking to escape the zone. Has numbers up ahead. Has Endy down the left wing. Endy into the slot. On the backhand now. Endy sent it back across for Harville. It was loose. And again, Trudeau right in the slot. Just couldn't get a stick on it. It was lifted at the last second. Beenackers now down the right wing. He's taken off the puck by Bentley. Came back to him though. Beenackers throws one. Missed just on the near side. Fountain again untested, and right on cue has to do some work as he makes the first stop and then another on the rebound that was deflected right back into him. Covers up with just under 5 minutes to go in the first period. Malcolm Campbell into the dot for Ridgetown. Wins it to the side. Whiffing on it at the blue line, Dave Beanackers, now entangled along the far boards, controls the puck, but Ridgetown had to get back on side. This one sent in deep, and it'll be an icing rather, as Whipple, the only player down there. Offensive zone draw coming up for Thousand Islands. Snyder into the dot. It's one back, though, by Malcolm Campbell. Stretch pass along this near side. That's going to go on the Fountain, so no icing. He's going to cover up and holds on for a whistle. Face-off coming up in the left circle. Ritchie wins it back against Nick Snyder. Slapped along the far boards, held in by Beanackers, then given right away. Out through center. Myers skipped off of his stick and then controlled in the neutral zone by Brendan Ritchie. Cunningham up the left side, back to the point, blast from there, and Fountain did well to slide over, throws the glove on through some traffic, and makes the stop on Sean Noah. Looked like the shot might have been going wide from the point, but Fountain taking no chances. Got the glove on it, made a good glove save, and held on. Whipple escapes the zone, had it taken off his stick, though, by Sean Noah. Noah rings it around the backboards, and this one skips out into the neutral zone. Taken away. McClellan now up the left wing. Blaine McClellan on the backhand. Centers it back in front for Oaks Cook, and his stick was lifted by Noah at the last second. St. Anne spinner. Home run pass for Oaks Cook, who tips it into the zone, and Cook Avery can give chase. Good spin along his own blue line. Ritchie gets the puck forward. Cunningham just behind him was the pass, and now Cook Avery up the right wing. Backhanded pass for Oaks Cook. Really nice work in the defensive zone by Brendan Ritchie, who heads off for a change as this one's dumped into the far corner. Colton Oaks Cook ends up with it on his stick. Skates across the blue line, throws it up ahead. And now another chance, skating into the slot and bearing one into the back of the net. Colton Oaks Cook with a terrific pass, and it was Zeke Endy who ended up on the end of it. As you take another look here, Endy splits one, gets in, and fires one up and over the blocker side of Owen Lemieux, who's beaten for the second time here in the first period. 2-0 now, Raiders with the lead. 2:56 to go in the frame. Gunther along his own blue line. Errant pass as he was trying to go back to Campbell. Lemieux throws it off the near boards. That one skipped past Braden Trayer and actually got up and out of play, it looked like, into the bench area. Face-off will come right to center ice. Beanackers wins it back. Gunther back across to his D partner, Ian Campbell. Here's Endy again, fresh off the goal. Tried to backhand it across the blue line for Trudeau. Trudeau gives Campbell a ride into the boards. Campbell, puck on his stick now as he skates across the red line down the right wing. Campbell stops, had Beanackers, and we'll find him with a backhand. Beanackers centering pass, that's tipped in front and up and out of play. Actually came off of the wall down to our left-hand side and back onto the ice on the redirect in front. for Ryan Wilson. Face-off again won by Ridgetown. Long shot from the point, went off the skate of Nolan Van de Born, who hasn't been out there in quite a while. That one deflected by Fountain, turned aside. Backhanded forward by Anthony Bentley, but stays in the Ridgetown offensive zone. O'Mara in the far corner, spins around a couple of times, throws it off the boards, came back out in front, held in at the blue line by Sean Noah. Noah backhands it in behind. Nolan Van de Born looked to get it back to Noah in front. Cunningham in there too. He has the puck. Back to Nolan Van de Born in behind. Backhand pass broken up. O'Mara got a stick on it. Van de Born has set up shop down below the red line in behind the net and looks to pass from there. Out to Brendan Ritchie. Back to the blue line for Sean Noah, who throws one on. Fountain made the save. Quick whistle. As Fountain had made the first stop, I'm not sure he ever really had controlled the puck, but whistle went. And we'll have a draw in the offensive zone. Net may have come off down there with 1:04 to go in the first period. In theory, Wiley should be released from his 10-minute misconduct that he picked up in the early stages of the period here. St. Spinner clears the zone as we're under a minute to play. I know the scoreboard on your screen doesn't necessarily reflect that. It really struggles when it gets down under a minute. There's 45 seconds to go in the frame. Cameron Whipple will pick the puck up in the far corner. Tried to pinch it along the boards. McClellan had it taken away from him. Now it's Dave Beanackers, and that's taken away from Beanackers, and it's Gavin Cook Avery up the left wing. Has Oaks Cook, has McClellan. Oaks Cook on the redirect, and they score. Pretty much a perfectly executed 3-on-2 as it was taken away by Cook Avery right at the blue line, and then skating into the zone, found Oaks Cook, and the redirect past the out-of-position Owen Lemieux. Nothing he could do about it. Had to come out and challenge the shot from Cook Avery. And with just 20 seconds to go now, the lead extended to 3-0. Long shot, kicked aside by Lemieux along the near boards. Stretch pass for Malcolm Campbell. Sent right back down into the Ridgetown end, and that'll do it for the first period. Raiders lead 3-0 here at home against Ridgetown, who defeated them pretty handily last night. Terrific start for the Raiders here this evening. They've looked sharp at both ends of the ice, and Fountain so far unbeaten. Lemieux has seen the puck get past him 3 times, and the Raiders with the lead after 20 minutes of play. Thanks to everybody for tuning in and watching us here on the Thousand Island Raiders YouTube channel. We'll be back in, 15 minutes or so for the start of the second period. Raiders with the lead. We'll see you then. Welcome back inside the Cerow Rec Park Arena, where the Raiders are getting ready for the second period. They've got a 3-goal lead over the Ridgetown Royals. Beanackers wins the faceoff back against Blaine McClellan to start the second frame. Puck rung around the far boards, then sent back to this near side by Derek Shaw. Colton Oaks-Cook picks up for the Raiders. Long stretch pass up ahead. Trying to find Gavin Cook-Avery, who stayed on side as he kicked the puck forward. Back out through center ice. Anthony Bentley off his skate. Up along the far board. Shaw had to get back on side. Oaks-Cook out to the far side for Cook-Avery. Backhanded for Colton Oaks-Cook. Oaks-Cook up ahead with McClellan to his right. And now Zach O'Mara to his left. Throws a shot right into the skates of Ian Campbell. And Shaw the other way. Derek Shaw up the left wing. His shot on. Fountain with a stick save. And the puck into the corner. Now a stretch pass for Rice, but broken up. Otherwise, Rice would have been in. Royals go for a change. That one backhanded forward by Oaks-Cook, but controlled by Brendan Ritchie. Shot into the glove of Robert Fountain. He made the first save. The puck came right back out in front. And the second effort straight into his catching glove with 18:52 to go in the second period. Rice wins the faceoff to the side. St. Anne Spinner out from behind his own net now. Will spin and again settles in behind his own net. Pass along the near side. Collected in the neutral zone by Dave Beanackers, who has it back here. Now along the near boards, Beanackers looks to skate out of the defensive zone. Wiley, who served that 10-minute misconduct in the first period, back out onto the ice now. Ben Cunningham taken away from him. Pass behind Wiley. Kick forward by Rice. Nick Snyder dumps into the zone. Wiley gives chase. Controlled in behind by Sean Noah. Now Nolan Vanderborn along the far boards. Snyder, long shot from the point, blocked. And Rice threw a rebound in the direction of Lemieux, who made the save, and Rice has come up hobbled. I think that first shot might have stung him as he was trying to get the redirect in front. Looked like it may have got him kind of in the wrist area. And he skates back to the Raiders bench for a change. Endy loses out in the faceoff circle to Ritchie. Off the glass and into the neutral zone. St. Anne Spinner got a stick on it, but controlled by Ben Cunningham, who drops one for Nolan Vanderborn. Vanderborn centered it, broken up by Trudeau. Shot from the slot, hit St. Anne Spinner. And Fountain, I think, would have had it anyway, but St. Anne Spinner made sure it didn't get all the way through and then took a pretty healthy body check from Nolan Vanderborn behind the play. Endy had it taken away from him. And Campbell's long stretch pass for Brendan Ritchie. Unable to be collected. St. Anne Spinner to Harville. Touch pass for Endy. He was taken down. Trudeau has the puck on his stick through the slot. Endy goes down again. Got tangled up a couple of times with Xander Wright. Now Ritchie. Fountain makes the save, and then another puck still loose, and Fountain finally throws the glove on to cover up. Standing right on the doorstep, Ryan Wilson, but Fountain makes the save. As you see him there, a couple of cracks at it for Wilson on the near side, and Fountain alert, able to make the save. McClellan wins the faceoff back. Trayer tries to collect, but had it taken away from him by Spencer Clark. Now Adam Roberts, unable to clear the zone, sent back in deep. Clark was going to collect it, but Fountain wisely came out of the net to play. McClellan, Cook-Avery, back to Blaine McClellan. Long pass across the ice, and down the right wing, Oaks-Cook back across, and Cook-Avery couldn't get a stick on. Has it now, back to Cook-Avery in the slot. Lemieux with a save, puck loose. McClellan couldn't get a shot away either. This one from out behind the net, missed everybody at the blue line, and Fountain played it in behind. Roberts and Schreier back to collect, and Schreier will carry out from his own zone. Now, Braden Schreier along the near boards, tumbling down to the ice. Look like Gunther, who has the puck now, and Nevin Gunther will carry out through center ice for the Royals. Gunther still with the puck on his stick, tried to get around Adam Roberts and did. Centering pass broken up. Beanackers with a shot. That was blocked by Roberts and went high up into the air and into the netting in the far corner. Offensive zone draw coming up for the Ridgetown Royals, which they win back. Shot from the point from Beanackers, hit a couple of sticks, stayed wide. Snyder on the near boards. Tipped ahead by Rice and controlled by Beanackers. Rice now up the right wing against Beanackers, who got a stick on it, poked it free. Snyder trying to take the puck away from Shaw. Shaw got away momentarily, but now Nick Snyder. Back to Rice, who kicked it forward and then lost it. Here comes Ian Campbell. Shaw up the left wing, back to Campbell. Campbell in the slot, lets one go. Fountain makes the save. Puck is still loose, kicked forward by Shaw into the grasp of Robert Fountain. 14:58 to go, period number 2. Face off down to our left-hand side, the blocker side, right-hand side of Robert Fountain. One back again by Ridgetown. They've been terrific in the face-off circle. Nolan Vanderborn here in the near corner. Gonna skate back to the blue line. Pass across, Beanackers. Fountain with the save and then sticked it away out of the air. Back to the point. Dave Beanackers. Trudeau laid the body on him. Puck escapes the zone. Trudeau shovels it forward as Endy gives chase. Beanackers, again Trudeau, able to just slap it forward. And this one sent back out. Endy sticked it down, got it back from Harville. Ezekiel Endy had to tightrope along the blue line. Trudeau ended up in the zone and wasn't sure, or wasn't aware that Endy never entered the offensive end with the puck. Had to get back on side. Beanackers in the corner, held in at the blue line by St. Anne Spinner. He'll send it all the way along the far board. Skips out of the zone. Now a chance maybe for a 2-on-1 down the left wing. Brendan Ritchie broken up well by St. Anne Spinner. Ritchie ends up with the puck here on the near side now after the miss from Nolan Vanderborn. Blocked by Trudeau on the long effort from Xander Wright. Endy down the right wing. Back to Trudeau, missed him. And Harville couldn't come up with it either. And now an odd man rush the other way. Drop pass here. Cunningham throws one on. Fountain with the save. It's loose in front. Trudeau tried to hit the home run pass again. It was Colton Oaks Cook who was way down there. Would have had a chance. And now St. Anne Spinner will maybe slow things down here a little bit. It got a little track meetish there for a couple of seconds. McClellan tips that one forward. Gets it right back from Colton Oaks Cook. McClellan down the left wing. Backhanded it in. The captain, Blaine McClellan, got the feed from Colton Oaks Cook. He ended up with this puck here on the near boards, and you see him get it back there from Oaks Cook and steps in, backhands it up over the blocker side of Owen Lemieux. Nifty work with the backhand to beat Lemieux on the short side and make it a 4-goal game. McClellan now into the faceoff dot, wins that one back. And puck stayed in the offensive zone. Fountain with a save, and now he'll cover up. Had to come way out of his net to do so, but he throws the glove on top and gets a whistle. Fraley into the faceoff dot. Oaks Cook Avery, rather, won it backwards. Oaks Cook along the far boards. Fraley kept it in. Colton Oaks Cook and McClellan working to win the puck on the far boards. It'll come out to Cook Avery, and that will clear the zone. Skips over Fraley's stick, and now Oaks Cook down the right wing. Colton Oaks Cook throws one on, and Lemieux with the glove save. Rice into the face-off top. Wins it to the side. Wiley couldn't end up with the puck as it was controlled behind by Sean Noah. This long stretch pass, Fountain out of the net to play it. Out to Snyder on the near side. He gave it away. Taken by Ryan Wilson. Wilson along the blue line out for Sean Noah. Noah sends it in deep. Spencer Clark gives chase. Wilson and Trayer collide along the backboards. Wilson shot on, hit Trayer. Now numbers forward for the Raiders, skating and letting one go, and scoring is Wiley. Justin Wiley had a 10-minute misconduct in the first period. Here in the second, he's got a goal as he skated right through, directly through Sean Noah. Might have even put a little dangle on as he went through the legs of Noah, and then sends one past Lemieux, which chases him from the game. Nolan Hacker off the bench, and he'll take his place in the Ridgetown net. Lemieux upset down below us. I'm not sure you can blame him a ton for any of the goals here this evening. He's been hung out to dry a couple of times now by his defense. He was beaten 5 times in the game, and Nolan Hacker in for Ridgetown. Had a good night last night in the win. Ridgetown looking to answer as Fountain knocks the net off. He's trying to reset it, and I guess he will. So play will continue here. In behind, Phil Clark. Spencer Clark kept it in the zone. Now skating through the slot is Gunther. His shot did not end up on net. Clark on the far boards, and that's chipped out by Myers. Beanackers backhanded forward, and then again backhanded into the zone. Xander Wright. Fountain out of the net to play it. Comes along the near side. Addison Oaks Cook out there. Shot from the slot, sticked away by Fountain. Steered aside into the corner. Spencer Clark sends this one to the near side, pinching in Xander Wright from that right D spot. Now down low, Malcolm Campbell. Back to Campbell on the near side, and the shot from the blue line, Xander Wright, easily gloved down by Fountain, who saw it all the way, and there wasn't a ton of velocity on it either. Quick check of the net down there. It did come off in that sequence, but Fountain was able to reset it. Appears to be all right. Vanderborn throws a shot on that missed on the far side. Harville couldn't escape the zone. St. Anne Spinner had it taken off of his stick. Now Wright with a shot. And the puck still loose here on the near side. Vanderborn has it. Stick on the ice. Harville takes Vanderborn down. Endy lost it as it was taken away by Ben Cunningham. Another shot from the point that hit a stick and ended up high off the glass in behind. It's St. Anne Spinner who doesn't have his stick. It's actually Fountain who didn't have his stick, and St. Anne Spinner gave his to Fountain. Now St. Anne Spinner slaps it forward. He kicks this one. Stayed in the zone, though, held in at the point by Ben Cunningham. St. Anne Spinner picked up Fountain's stick, gave it to him, and then got his back. And that one was sent all the way down the length of the ice. Ended up on Nolan Hacker, so no icing. And a big change there for most of the group that was out there for Thousand Islands. Ian Campbell in behind, taken to the boards by St. Anne Spinner. Campbell looked like he was trying to give him a little bit of a face wash, but was sent back down to the ice. As Harville throws one up high on Nolan Hacker, he makes the save and holds on. Really terrific shift there from Dylan St. Anne Spinner. He was all over the place defensively, playing without a stick. Realized that Fountain didn't have one, gave him his, and eventually collected Fountain's stick, gave it back to him, got his stick back from his netminder, and then played some physicality late in the period two. Fountain with another big save on the one-timer from Shaw. Trayer goes down in behind with Fraley, and I think this is going to be a tripping call as Fraley just stick into the skates of Braden Trayer. Hooking is actually the call. And it was Malcolm Campbell who the official signaled, 21. It looked like Fraley got a stick right into the legs of Braden Trayer, but hooking the call on Campbell instead. Raiders back to the power play. They scored on the power play in the first period. That one sent out to center. It was played by a high stick, though, as Whipple played it down right at the red line. At least that's what the officials are going to signal. And face-off will stay in the neutral zone, we think. So the puck was played down with a high stick in the Thousand Island offensive zone and then touched up in the neutral zone. That's where the face-off will stay. One back by Gavin Cook-Avery. Here's Ezekiel Endy. Cook-Avery. Oh, had it taken away. Beanackers, nifty move, got around Whipple, flying poke check from Fountain to keep the puck out of the net and keep it away from Steve Beanackers. Now a whistle here, and interference to call on Cameron Whipple. Didn't look like he did a whole lot wrong. Yeah, replay. Naturally, the guy running the computer waited just long enough so you couldn't see what happened. Whipple, though, is going to go sit down for 2 or less. It'll be 4-on-4 skating for 1:38, and then a short power play for Ridgetown. 2 minutes interference, Cameron Whipple. Shot on from Campbell, turned aside by Fountain. Now Campbell again, leaves it for Brendan Ritchie. Ritchie skates into the circle, throws a shot on. That was deflected off of Nolan Vanderborn, and Fountain actually had to make a save on it. Adam Roberts on the far boards, sends it down the length of the ice. Icing waved off as they're going to say Vanderborn tipped it on the clearing attempt from Adam Roberts. Good forecheck from the Raiders to work the puck free. Roberts pinches in at the blue line and keeps it in after Rice was able to force the turnover. Now numbers deep for the Raiders as skating out through center with some speed is Brendan Ritchie. Now down the right wing, Ritchie held off by O'Mara. Centering pass out in front. Fountain with a save. The net came off again. Wouldn't have mattered, I don't think, but Fountain makes the stop. See Ritchie come around, and I think Fountain just knocked it off when he slid back. Nolan Vanderborn down below us has slammed the door several times as he came to sit back at the end of that shift. St. Anne Spinner out there right now with Anthony Bentley. Pass too far for Endy to handle. Steve Beanackers through the neutral zone. Throws a shot on that's off the glove of Fountain. Beanackers in behind, back out to the blue line, and nobody there in an off-white sweater. Campbell collects from his own netminder, Hacker. Now Campbell. Trudeau tried to take him off the puck. Beanackers across the blue line. Beanackers bowed in front. And Endy picks up the loose change and will clear. Endy up the left side. Ridgetown penalty is over, so they're skating on the power play here for another 13 seconds. Beanacker's on the far side. Steve Beanacker's taken to the boards by Bentley. Loose puck picked up by Fraley, but taken right away back from him by Trudeau. Endy sends it in deep, kills off the penalty. With 6:40 to go in the second period, Thousand Islands up 5-0. Steve Beanacker's up the left side, has Fraley for company. Shot off the backboards. Now Dave Beanacker's. Again, he tried to send it in front. Cunningham. Beanacker's back to Cunningham. Doing battle with McClellan down here. Beanacker's comes up with a puck. O'Mara works it free, and now a chance for Zach O'Mara in on the breakaway. Backhand save by Hacker. And here comes Shaw the other way. Down the right wing, throws a shot on that misses on the far side. Oaks Cook looked to play it in between his own legs. Shaw will end up with it in behind the Raider net. Colton Oaks Cook taken away by Derek Shaw. Shaw to Nolan Vanderborn. Vanderborn still looking for a pass. Out to Sean Noah, back to Nolan Vanderborn. Across to the near side, Dave Beanacker. Shot tipped in front. Whipple got a deflection on it and slowed it down just enough for Fountain to make the first save. Puck was still loose, and he dives on top of the rebound as well to keep it a 5-0 game. 5:37 to go in the second period. Face-off one straight back to Fountain. The puck was never covered up. It ended up coming loose, and whistle went. It was tipped into the empty net after the draw. Take another look here. As you see this one back. Fountain, that was when the whistle went, and Vanderborn poked it into the empty net, but the whistle had already gone. Shot in the slot. Fountain with a save, another pretty quick whistle. He did end up covering this one, but whistle went pretty quick as Fountain made the first save, and then the puck dropped straight down. Faceoff will come out to this near side. Vanderborn, quick shot right through the 5-hole of Fountain. Really quick release from the Ridgetown captain as you take another look here right off the draw. I mean, it was one backward, actually. It was one forward, and Nick Snyder wanted to play that one backward. Vanderborn was all over it, and he picks up that puck right in front of the net, able to send it past Fountain. He's beaten for the first time tonight. It's 5-1, Thousand Islands with the lead. Vanderborn had a couple of goals last night, set up another couple as well, and he's got another goal here this evening. 5-1 now. Brendan Ritchie with speed again down the right wing, and he lost the puck. He had Fountain down and out. If he had been able to come up with the puck on that wrap try, I think he would have scored. Snyder taking off the puck. Big body check late on the near side. The whistle goes. It's a boarding call. See if we got to look at it or not. It seemed like it was a pretty standard hit. Yeah, really nothing wrong with that, to be completely honest with you. Not sure about the boarding call there. Thousand Islands maybe a little fortunate to go back to the power play here, as that seemed like it was a pretty standard body check. Looked like good hockey to me. Cook Avery, face-off one back, but controlled by Ben Cunningham, and Cunningham's going to carry it himself, trying to do the hard work here on the power play. Good stick from St. Anne Spinner to poke it free at the last second. Blaine McClellan now, across for Cameron Whipple. Whipple up the left wing. Whipple had to wait for some help. McClellan Cook Avery picks it up in the far corner. Shot hit a body, came right back to him. He sends it across for Dylan St. Anne Spinner. St. Anne Spinner gets around one, centering pass out in front. Hacker with a big save, and then another one. That might have come off the post, and it's cleared all the way down the length of the ice. Whipple picks up the puck with 1:13 left to go on the power play, the boarding call. Again, Whipple up that left wing. That one will be held in at the point by St. Anne Spinner. Backhanded forward for Rice. It skipped past him, and now Fountain out of the net to prevent a breakaway for Steve Beanackers. St. Anne Spinner had it taken away from him. Good forecheck from Brendan Ritchie here on the penalty kill, and Ritchie will just circle around and continues to possess the puck. Ritchie gets around Colton Oaks Cook. Ritchie all by himself really in the offensive zone. Steve Beanackers was down there too, but he was just kind of running misdirection. And terrific work on the penalty kill as this one is sent all the way down. Fountain out of the net to play it. Whipple taken to the boards by Beanackers. Beanackers lost his stick. Wanted a slashing call. I think he was the one that really did more of the slashing there, but he was the one that lost the stick. Snyder in on the forecheck, gives a body to Dave Beanackers in the corner, but again, Ridgetown able to clear, and that'll do it for the boarding call as we're back to all even. 5-on-5 here with 3 minutes to go in the second period. Fountain out of the net to play the puck, closed down pretty quickly by Jeremy Vandeborn. Puck right here down in front of us as there's a collision between a couple of guys. It was Vandeborn, Jeremy, and Spencer Clark. Again, sent all the way down. O'Mara in behind his own net. Good forecheck from Malcolm Campbell. Puck out in front. Jeremy Vandeborn lost sight of it as Fountain laid the poke check on him. Now Gunther into the slot, lets one go. Along the near boards, backhanded ahead by Campbell. Picked up in the corner by Wilson. Wilson across to the far side. Jeremy Vandeborn. Shot wanted a tip in front. Nobody got a stick on it. Comes to the near side. Gunther. This one launched up and out of play. Hit the roof on its way back out into the neutral zone. Body check laid here on that play by Ryan Wilson. Took Bentley to the boards. Puck out of play. Hit the reflective silver roof here inside the barn. Endy into the face-off. It's one sideways, though, and controlled by Steve Beanackers. Now Endy will pick up the puck in behind and skate out with under 2 minutes to go in the second period. Endy had it taken away from him by Fraley. Cunningham holds it in on the far side. Endy works it forward. Harville across for Trudeau. Now Trudeau up the right wing. 2-on-2 here as he's skating with Harville. Endy ends up with the puck. Tried to slide it across for Dan Harville, but the poke check from Ian Campbell sends the puck into the bench area with 1:40 to go. Face-off will stay in the offensive zone for Thousand Islands here. Controlled in behind by Campbell. Sent the length of the ice. That's an icing. Endy into the face-off against Beanackers. One back by the Royals. Across now, Brody Fraley up the left wing. Fraley lets a shot go. Fountain with a save. It was into his left pad and then into the glove. Fountain beaten just the once here. One time in the second period. Nolan Vandenborn off the face-off, which was actually won forward by Thousand Islands. Snyder looked to just send it in behind his own net. And Vandenborn collected that puck and deposited it through the 5-hole of Fountain. Raiders have scored 5 times and they lead here by 4 goals towards the end of the second period. Vandenborn trying to change that. Puck out to the blue line, shot on, and Fountain again with the glove save. Shaw right there looking for the redirect in front, the deflection, but he doesn't end up actually getting anything on the puck, and Fountain makes the stop. Rice able to just deflect that one back towards the blue line, but it's held in there. Shaw in behind the net. St. Anne Spinner threw his skate out and stopped it from getting out in front. St. Anne Spinner with another block. Puck is still loose, though, in front for Vandenborn. And Whipple unable to clear the zone as we're under a minute to go. 45 seconds left in the period. Shaw with a shot again, looking for the tip. Vandenborn missed, though, and right into the glove again of Robert Fountain. There's 42.4 left in the second period, not 4:24. McClellan wins the faceoff back. St. Anne Spinner controls in behind. Up the near wing. Cook Avery. Vandenborn tried to take him to the boards, but I think he missed. Cook Avery did well to evade it. St. Anne Spinner, tough pass out in front, taken away. Vandenborn with a shot, missed. Shaw on the rebound, and Fountain slides across to make the save. The net came off, and now Vandenborn with a little extra jab there on Colton Oaks Cook after the play, and Oaks Cook was taken hard into the boards during that play. He wanted a penalty, so too did the Raiders, and then Vandenborn gave him a little extra jab afterwards as he was laying down on the ice. So a couple of captains jawing at each other after that play. McClellan displeased. Controlled here at the blue line, shot on, and Fountain again with the save. Not much going on in front there as Nevin Gunther just sent one on from just inside the blue line. 17.2 remaining in the second period. Face-off one back by Ritchie. Gunther with another shot on. That hit Vandenborn. Sent up along the far boards. Now Vandenborn takes O'Mara into the far wall. Penalty will come up, and I think it's Vandenborn. It was a slashing call, the signal. Now a couple of guys behind the play getting involved too, as Cook Avery took a couple of shoves and then maybe a slash after the fact too, as we saw a little bit of chippiness towards the end of the game last night. Starting to boil over in this one, and Nolan Vandenborn rather will come sit down with 9.8 remaining in the period. It's a slashing call on him. Although as the referee skated over to the penalty area, he was calling 9 on the penalty. So maybe Vandenborn, it can't be 9 because Vandenborn's in the box. 9, which would be Brendan Ritchie, is, no, I guess he is skating off the ice. Okay. It is penalty on Ritchie, and he'll skate off back to the locker room, obviously with just 9 seconds left in the period. Trudeau and Fraley getting an explanation here. Looks like there's going to be 2 minors on that play. So 2 penalties, both against Ridgetown. First one against Ritchie. I wonder if Vandenborn ended up with a penalty in that sequence. 5-on-3 here for a full 2 minutes for Thousand Islands as the second period will end. Felt like a pretty long 10 seconds there, but time does eventually run out here in the second period. And the announcement on the penalties now. Vandenborn does end up with the slashing call. And so does Ritchie. They both ended up with slashing. And that means that TI will skate 5-on-3 for 1:35 at the start of the third period. Already holding on to a 4-goal lead, 5-1 the score here from the Cerow Rec Park in Clayton, New York. Want to thank everybody for joining us here on your Saturday evening for the APHL on the Thousand Island Raiders YouTube channel. Connor Lalone up here on the walkway in the freezing cold Cerow Rec Park. Cody Wheeler on the camera for us as usual. We'll see you in about 19 minutes for the start of the third period between Thousand Islands and Ridgetown. Take care, everybody. We'll see you then. Back inside the Cerow Rec Park for the third period. It's 5-on-3 skating for Thousand Islands. They've got a 5-1 lead here in the early going of period number 3. Puck sent across to Whipple, who lets one go. That's steered aside. Whipple will collect and circles around along the near side. Long shot up into the net from Whipple. It hit a stick on the way through and snuck up into the netting in behind the goal. Face off down to our left-hand side. Gavin Cook-Avery in the dot, wins it back. Now Whipple on the near side, top of the circle. Whipple retreats, back pedals, sends it back across. Shot on from Snyder. Never made its way all the way through, but held in at the point. Shot from Whipple missed on the near side. Now Snyder has it at the near point. Snyder across to the far circle. Back up top, Whipple in the point. Back to Snyder. Snyder with traffic in front, blockered away by Nolan Hacker, who came in that second period to replace Owen Lemieux. Snyder, 20 seconds to go in the 5-on-3, and this will clear down the length of the ice as Nevin Gunther worked the puck free from Snyder and then carried it all the way in to the offensive end all by himself. Maybe one last rush here with extra numbers. It's Colton Oakes-Cook who skates through the slot and had his stick lifted. Puck stays in the zone, though, held in by Endy. Sent across for Oakes-Cook. And Oakes-Cook has a stick up into the arm of Brendan Ritchie, who did a good job to hold on to it. Nolan Vandenborn out of the box. Serve 2 for slashing. So too did Ritchie. And Ritchie's going to tip one in front off the feed from Vandenborn. And the two guys who started the period in the box for the Royals combine to put one past Fountain. As you see Vandenborn just do the dirty work down there, picks up the puck, throws it back out in front, and Ritchie on the doorstep slides it home through Fountain. Second Ridgetown goal of the night. Vandenborn's had a hand in both of them, a goal and now an assist. 5-2. Raiders still lead. 17:40 to go in the third period. This one cleared the length of the ice. O'Mara will chase down there as the icing is waved off. O'Mara up ahead for Endy. Endy surveying, comes out to the near side. Trudeau leaves for Harville. Dan Harville across for Endy, who got a stick on it. And Hacker had to make a save as he sticked that one into the corner. Puck cleared out into the neutral zone, picked up by Dylan St. Anne Spinner. He comes back across for O'Mara and then back across to St. Anne Spinner. Tipped ahead by Endy, but controlled and sent right back into the offensive end by Ridgetown as they go for a change. Puck in the corner, given away by Zach O'Mara. Shot on, Fountain with a save, big rebound, comes out into the slot. And Gunther unable to get a good shot away. Now here comes Harville out to the left wing. Harville through the slot. Shot deflected, and then the second effort also steered aside into this near board area. Trayer in a collision in center ice and then lays the body on Sean Noah. Clark, long stretch pass up ahead off the boards for Gunther. Nevin Gunther poked at it and poked it into the corner for Campbell. Broken up in the slot. Back across now for Campbell again. Malcolm Campbell throws a shot on from way out. Fountain makes the save, and then as the puck came back out for Sean Noah, Fountain made another stop, throwing the glove on it with 16:08 remaining in the third period. Steve Beanacker's into the face-off dot against Dan Harville. One back, Roberts off the boards here on the near side. No icing as this one's collected in behind by Ian Campbell. Campbell now under pressure from Endy. Out to the near side for Xander Wright. Wright through the slot, picked up by Fraley. Now Brody Fraley has Shaw to his left. Fraley lets one go, and that beat Fountain on the glove side. Fountain just looked like he was surprised by this one as Fraley picked it up, skated through really all the way down the length of the ice and let one go. And yeah, Fountain just cheating across, expecting the pass to come across to the near side and beaten across the body on the glove side. And all of a sudden, it's just a 2-goal game, 5-3. So the Raiders fail to take advantage of the 5-on-3 for a full 2 minutes. They don't score and then immediately give up a goal right out of that to the couple of players who came out of the penalty box. Now they've given up a third, and their lead has shrunk from 4 to 2. Puck along this near side, chipped ahead, past Whipple by Shaw. St. Anne Spinner collects it, throws it off the skate, though, of Cameron Whipple inadvertently. Shaw in the corner. Shaw on the wrap try. Puck is loose as Fountain threw a stick at it. This one launched up ahead. Snyder trying to find Wiley on the near wing. Whipple in his own zone. Hit Snyder in the skate. Collected by Beanackers up the right side. Beanackers drives to the net, lets a shot go on the forehand, and missed across the top side. Now along the near boards, held in at the point by Ben Cunningham. Shot hit a stick and ends up in the corner for St. Anne Spinner, who clears the zone. Collected at the red line by Sean Noah. Noah back across to this near side. Noah again. Up forward for Cunningham. Cunningham has Vandenborn up ahead. Given away, though. And sent back down into the offensive end by St. Anne Spinner. Noah's pass up ahead, kicked forward by Cunningham, and then jumped over the stick of Colton Oaks Cook. McClellan in on the forecheck. Noah got it to Vandenborn. Across for Cunningham. Ben Cunningham out there with Brendan Ritchie. Ritchie poked off of his stick by Bentley. Puck out to the blue line. Cunningham again lets a shot go. Fountain with a save, and then on the rebound, it's tapped in, and it's a 1-goal game. Ridgetown getting on the score sheet 3 times here in the early going of the third period. As you see Cunningham let the shot go. Fountain made the first save, but nobody at the back post able to clear the puck for Thousand Islands, and it's now 5-4. Face-off one to the side by Endy. Bentley slashed it forward. Harville across to the near side. Carried into the zone by Zach O'Mara. O'Mara around behind the net. Out into the slot. Shot from there from Endy. Missed. Harville couldn't keep it in the offensive zone here at the blue line. Goes back across. Now O'Mara picks it up. It bounced pretty hard off of his stick, and he's got to go behind his own net to slow things down. He backhands it in behind there. Endy looking up ahead. Split a couple of teammates, but O'Mara ends up with a puck on his stick. Now Zach O'Mara into the offensive rush, throws one on. That's off the glove of Nolan Hacker, and turned over, though. Harville in the slot. Weak pass. Never made its way all the way through. Hacker throws a stick on. Net looks like it may have come off. Endy, and a little bit of a collision with Hacker. Now up the right wing with speed is Gunther. Nevin Gunther. Got it for Campbell. Campbell back to Gunther in the slot. Great stick at the last second to poke that puck free and prevent a good look on Fountain. Spencer Clark. Rice took it away from him. Clark got the stick kind of up high on Rice and gave him a good cross check here along the boards. Good scrum now in the corner. Rice and Clark. Ian Campbell and Nick Snyder down there. Campbell has it. Still fighting to work it free. Comes out to the point. Trayer across. And this one will skip out. Corralled well by Xander Wright. And now Wright. Roberts in behind his own net. Roberts got a stick into the skates of Brody Fraley, who went down pretty easily, but it's a tripping call on Adam Roberts. Not a lot of contact there, but there was enough. Stick into the skates, and Roberts knew it. Tripping call. And a chance here for Ridgetown on the power play, now trailing by just one. Rough start to the third period for Thousand Islands, who led by 4 goals. Whistle here.
Penalty for the Raiders. Number 4, Adam Roberts. 2 minutes for slashing.
Face-off one back. Nolan Vandenborn at the left point. Now gets it right back. Vandenborn in the slot. Across. Shot there from Brendan Ritchie, who's looking for his second. Fountain able to make the stop this time. Trudeau into the dot against Steve Beatnackers. Controlled by Ridgetown. Endy got a stick on it, but still the Royals with the puck. Out to the near side. Vandenborn walks in, lets a shot go. That hit a skate in front. Might have been Trudeau who got a leg on it to prevent that shot from making its way towards Fountain. Stayed in play, though, as it hit off the glass in behind. Royals, again, tried to center it. Shaw couldn't get a stick on. Held in, though, by Nolan Vandenborn at the near point. Out to Steve Beatnackers. Beatnackers skates into the circle. The lefty tried to send that one across in front. It was broken up by St. Anne Spinner. Now Ritchie gets around Endy. Ritchie down low for Beatnackers. Pass right through the blue paint. Shaw wasn't expecting it. Had too much on him for him to handle anyway. Across, Ritchie down low to Beatnackers. Gets it right back. Tipped in front, up high over the net of Fountain. 1 minute to go in the power play here for the Royals as they try to make this an even game in the third period after starting the period down by 4. And 2 men short. Shot in front. Fountain with a save. Puck still loose after Beatnackers took the shot. Another shot on, and Fountain sticks this one up into the netting off the stick of Ritchie. Couple of big saves for Fountain. He led in at least a couple of the goals here in the third period. You would say he's likely going to want back, but makes a couple of big stops there to at least preserve the lead for now. 39 seconds to go here on the power play for the Royals. Face-off one back by Nick Snyder. Now Snyder in the corner battling for the puck. O'Mara down there as well for the Raiders. Royals control the puck. It comes across to the near side for Gunther. Now down low into the corner. Cunningham. And Fountain's down on the ice. So too is Spencer Clark. I'm not sure if, get a look at, yeah. So Clark got hit up high by Anthony Bentley and then ended up in the net on top of Fountain. I think Bentley's going to end up with the only penalty here. Roughing the call on Anthony Bentley. And so for 18 seconds, it'll be 5-on-3. Terrific opportunity for the Royals now. It was the Raiders who started the third period with 2 extra skaters. They failed to score there. And right out of the box, Vandenborn found Ritchie for a goal. So 5-on-3 for 18 seconds. Vandenborn at the point, across for Ritchie. Back to Nolan Vandenborn. Shot blocked in front. Matt Ritchie across through the paint, looking for Beatnackers. Pass was behind him and out into the neutral zone. Ritchie re-racks. Rice turns it over. 2 seconds left in the first penalty. Rice Oh, looked in front for Snyder, couldn't find him, and now numbers for the Royals. Vandenborn up the right wing, into the slot, back across to the near side for Fraley, who drew that penalty on Adam Roberts that just expired. Whipple down low for Thousand Islands, trying to prevent any sort of shot. Shaw let one go. That missed on the near side. Puck high up into the air, glove down, and then cleared the length of the ice by the Royals, or by the Raiders rather. They wanted a penalty on the Royals, tripping call, which will not come. Shaw up the right wing, minute left in the second penalty. That one clearly played by a high stick by Trudeau, and unlucky, maybe unfortunate for him. If he had let it go, he might have been able to reel it in and be in on a breakaway, maybe a 2-on-1. Instead, it's played down by a high stick. Face-off will come to center ice. 59 seconds remaining in the second penalty. A roughing call on Anthony Bentley. Malcolm Campbell into the dot. One back by Zeke Endy. Whipple lifts one the length of the ice. St. Anne Spinner in on the forecheck. Poked the puck free but didn't realize it. Ian Campbell now will skate out from behind his own net. 9 minutes to go, 40 seconds left in the roughing call. Campbell still with the puck. Shot off the leg of Whipple. Cunningham out to the point. Gets it right back. Cunningham taken away by Trudeau, and Trudeau unable to clear the zone as it's held in at the point. Back across for Campbell. Out to the point. Gunther down on the ice was Whipple to make the block. Endy had one come off of his skate. St. Anne Spinner can't clear. Trudeau has the puck, and they will get it out of the zone. Now Ezekiel Endy skating one-on-one. Endy down the right wing. Comes back across. Was hit down low. Solid hip check, says the referee, who was standing right there watching it. But Endy wanted the penalty. Felt like he was clipped. Penalty is over. Back to 5-on-5 now. Shot on. Fountain with a save. And a big whistle for the Raiders just to slow things down, try to calm the team down. Seen their 4-goal lead shrink to just one. And they've got 8 minutes left to try to hold on here in the third period. Beanacker's into the dot, wins it to the side, back out to the point. Shot from Sean Noah, missed high. Beanackers controls in the corner. Now Roberts. Adam Roberts here in the near corner. McClellan ends up with the loose puck. Blaine McClellan, the captain, circles around, throws one off the skate of Steve Beanackers, but held in at the point by Shaw. Shaw's shot steered aside by Fountain, who just kicked it into the corner. McClellan again. Long stretch pass missed everybody. Gavin Cook, Avery gives chase into the offensive end for the Raiders. This one skips out into the neutral zone where Shaw backhands it forward for Beanackers. Beanackers lets one go in and out of the glove of Fountain. Puck still loose, out in front, lifted high up over the goal. And a break for Thousand Islands as dangerously they let Derek Shaw skate down the left wing. Fountain made the save on the first shot. The second shot came out in front. It was a juicy rebound. And fortunately for the home team, puck went up and into the netting behind. Might have been deflected. So face off down to our left-hand side at the far end of the ice. And Rice tossed from the dot. One back by Brendan Ritchie. Cunningham into the corner. He's taken down. Wiley in there. Still just trying to settle things down. Our Thousand Islands held in at the blue line as St. Anne Spinner was unable to clear the zone. Xander Wright pinched in there and threw the body on it to keep it in the offensive end. Now this one's chipped forward, and here comes Nick Snyder in on the breakaway. Snyder wrapped up. Penalty is coming. Snyder's going to end up with the puck in the corner, and it's touched up now by Ridgetown. And I don't know how Gunther can complain about that one as he's called for the hooking. I mean, take a look as Nick Snyder's in on the break. Gunther stick right up and around the waist. Take it either a hook or a hold whatever you like. It doesn't really matter. It's 2 minutes. It's a minor penalty on Nevin Gunther, and it's a power play coming up for Thousand Islands, and they could sure use a goal here, reestablish a couple goal margin, and just settle things down for them here. Whipple, after the faceoff was won back. Whipple able to pinch and keep it in at the blue line. Endy tried to backhand it across. Rice ended up with it in behind. Now Campbell, and that one will escape the zone. St. Anne Spinner has it on his stick. Across for Nick Snyder, who drew the penalty. Back to Dylan St. Anne Spinner, in behind his own net now. St. Anne Spinner left it for Snyder. Nick Snyder off the boards, tried to play it to himself, just a little bit too much on it. And this one's cleared down the ice. Fountain out of the net to play it, leaves it for Whipple. Minute 18 remaining in the power play. That hasn't gotten really very much set up here. Struggle to possess the puck. It's turned over by Endy. Terrific work on the forecheck by Malcolm Campbell. Now he's just going to take the puck to the boards. He lost it, though. St. Anne Spinner ends up with it in behind his own net and leaves it for Colton Oaks Cook. Oaks Cook back across. Pass was behind Robert Rice. Oaks Cook again. St. Anne Spinner got it back from Whipple. Now he skates through center. Crosses the blue line. Carried into the zone by St. Anne Spinner. He stops. Goes back to the point. They come back across to the far side in the circle. Shot from Gavin Cook Avery. Blocked in front. Cook Avery has the puck again. They go down low to Oaks Cook. Back to Gavin Cook Avery. Oaks Cook to Cook Avery. He lets one go and missed on the near side. Whipple holds it in here at the point. Sends it back in deep to Colton Oaks Cook in behind the net. 20 seconds left on the power play as Colton Oaks Cook throws a shot on that misses on the near side. Controlled in behind, though, by Gavin Cook Avery. This one gloved at the line, held in by Whipple. His shot blocked in front. Great work to get down and block that shot by Ian Campbell again. Held on to, though, at the blue line by Whipple. That shot set on, and Hacker throws the left pad out to make the stop and kill off the penalty. It's still 5-4. Raiders with the lead. 4:37 to go now here in the game. Dangerous pass in front from Whipple. Hit Shaw, but able to clear it out of the zone are the Raiders. Settled down here on the near side by Sean Noah. He goes across the ice to Xander Wright. Wright up ahead for Derek Shaw. Shaw now skating through the neutral zone. Long shot. Kicked aside by Fountain. Vandenborn in the corner. Out in front, the wrap try from Shaw. Fountain with a save. Net might have come off again. They're going to play on as Fountain was able to reset it. Here's Blaine McClellan up the left side. Actually, that was Zach O'Mara who had skated all the way down into the offensive end. Vandenborn with Harville on his back. Through the slot, out to the right wing. And Trudeau got absolutely table-topped out in front. That was 100% an interference penalty that should have been called. It wasn't. The puck came out in front, and it was tapped into the empty net. And take another look here. I mean, this is as clear a pick as you're probably ever going to see. And instead, the puck went out in front. Fountain made the first save, but couldn't make the second on Shaw. And we've got a tie game at 5 goals apiece. Trudeau's furious, and he's got a pretty good argument, I think. Take another look if you want, because they're going to spend quite a bit of time talking about this, I'm sure. But, I mean, Trudeau gets dragged down right there in the neutral zone, well away from the puck. And as the shot comes in from Vandenborn, Shaw there to slap it past Robert Fountain. St. Anne Spinner down there is furious. He just shattered his stick. I think he ended up with a penalty as a result of that, which is insult to injury for Thousand Islands because, again, they didn't really do anything wrong in that scenario. Trudeau ended up with his back on the ice as he was interfered with away from the puck. Referees, I hope they missed it. Just weren't watching because that was fairly clear. And then as a direct result, the puck went out in front of the net and ended up in the back of the net to tie the game up at 5 goals apiece with just 3:49 to go in the game. A disastrous third period for the Raiders. They started with 2 extra guys on the ice here in the third for about 1:40, and they failed to score and have since shipped in 4 goals. Pretty lengthy discussion here, which you knew there would be after the play. Like I said, St. Anne Spinner was down there at the far end of the ice. He headed back to the locker room after he broke his stick on the glass. Blaine McClellan's getting an explanation here from the referee right down in front of us. Now a question of how the Raiders will respond. They've struggled mightily here in the third period. Ridgetown has really put the screw down, tightened the screw on them, and Raiders have let their 4-goal lead slip, but still have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to try to get a 6th and come away with a home win. This one sent the length of the ice. No icing as Whipple sat there and watched it roll by him. Now Whipple passed along the near boards for Wiley. Back to Cameron Whipple. Whipple across to the far side. Controlled in behind by the Raiders. Now the no-look pass out to the far side. Snyder back to the near side. That's Adam Roberts. Roberts into the neutral zone. Puck still on his stick. Roberts dumps it in deep. Hacker out of the net to play it. Back across to the near side from Ian Campbell. Here come the Royals. 2:30 to go. Colton Oakes-Cook took it away. Long pass up ahead. Big check laid by Robert Rice. Oakes-Cook turned it over, given away in the neutral zone as it was taken by Ben Cunningham, and then Whipple ended up with it right back. In the neutral zone again, McClellan couldn't take it away from Wright. Wright and Beanackers, a little bit of confusion. Fraley, that shot knuckled in front as it hit his stick, and Fountain able to steer it into the corner. This one knocked down at the blue line, now with some speed up the near side. Wiley just let a shot go, and he went back for a change. This one deflected off the glass and up and out of play. Offensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. 1:43 to go in the third period. Overtime looming here in Clayton, New York. Cook Avery won it to the side, controlled though by Shaw. Derek Shaw through center. Throws one on, Fountain with a save, and he'll cover up as Nolan Vandenborn skating in menacingly. So a whistle with 1:34 to go in regulation. Tied up at 5 goals apiece. Out to the blue line, Ian Campbell, long shot, tipped in front, and they score. Shaw again on the doorstep. And Ridgetown has made the improbable comeback. Down 4 goals to start the period. Now they lead 6-5 as you see Shaw in front with the redirect on the blast from Ian Campbell. Ridgetown in front. 5-goal third period. Erases a 4-goal deficit. And now they are in front. Campbell and Vandenborn with the assists as Raiders will take a timeout. Take another look at the goal, the blast from Ian Campbell at the point as Vandenborn passed it back to Campbell. Campbell let the shot go, and Shaw able to tip it, beats Fountain 5-hole, 5th goal of the period for the Raiders. Not much else to say at this point. It's been a terrific third period for Ridgetown. Thousand Islands. I hope to forget this one in a hurry. Colton Oaks Cook jumped into the circle there early, which means that Zeke Endy will probably get tossed. Guess not. Yeah, they will. So Oaks Cook will jump into the dot and try to win one himself. It's won back, though, by Ritchie, who's had a terrific night. Yet again, Brendan Ritchie. In on the forecheck, Gavin Cook Avery. Turned over, though, Shaw across to Vandenborn, and Whipple had pinched way into the zone trying to create something here at the last second. Good stick there, though, to work the puck free, and Oaks Cook kind of hopeful, just dumped that one forward. Sent back the other way. O'Mara will collect, a minute to go. And Fountain starting to work his way towards the bench as O'Mara skates into the offensive end. Fountain had to head back as the Raiders could not control the puck. Vandenborn a little theatrical as he went to the ice there. Wanted a penalty, didn't get it. Now 44 seconds to go. And Whipple with the puck on his stick. Got to make something happen now. Whipple with a shot, big block in front. Terrific work from Ian Campbell again. He's had several big shot blocks down the course of this third period. Fountain is to the bench, empty net for the Raiders with just 23 seconds. That one sent in the direction of the goal, but controlled by Gavin Cook Avery. One last rush here with 15 seconds. Long stretch pass, got into the skates of the linesman. Raiders have got to get back on side here. Across the near side, O'Mara throws one on, deflected into the corner off the stick of Nolan Hacker. One last shot, well high into the netting in behind, and the clock will run out here. I think the whistle went with a little bit of time left, but they're not going to add it back on. There's no reason to, really. Just a couple of tenths of a second. And what a third period that was. Ridgetown with 5 goals in the frame, come back from 4 goals down to win 6-5 here in Clayton. Sweep the weekend set between them and Thousand Islands. Just a really impressive third period display from the team out of Ridgetown, Canada, as they come away with the win, like we said, the sweep of the weekend series. Tough one for the Raiders. They drop it in that third period. They looked so good the first 2 frames, and that last 20 minutes ultimately were the difference. Raiders will be back in town next weekend right here in the Rec Park. They host the Motor City Muskies. Those games will be right here on the Raiders YouTube channel. We hope you'll join us for those. For Cody Wheeler, the consummate professional cameraman up here, my name's Connor Lalone. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to the Raiders APHL hockey here on the Raiders YouTube channel. Like I said, we'll be back here next week on Friday and Saturday as the Raiders host the Motor City Muskies. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. Enjoy the big game tomorrow night on NBC, and we'll see you next weekend. Take care.